What's going on, YouTube? Metal Complex here, and welcome to episode 8 of my Sunday series, The Knife Guy. If you are new to my channel or you just came out of some odd corner of the internet and you have no idea what you're watching, I am a knife enthusiast. I am a knife collector, a knife user, a knife whatever. I'm a knife guy. And what I like to do on Sundays is spread out a whole bunch of knives that are either mine or one of my generous viewers that has offered one or multiple up for review. And I basically just like to pick them up and flip them open and turn them over and just talk about things and experiences that we all share as knife guys in our own social settings. So earlier this week, this guy right here, and this has set off an odd string of events. This is the QSP Eagle. This is not a knife that I'm particularly interested in. I think karambits in general, what they do is they're kind of a big neon sign for the polarizing, either end of the knife world. They represent an extreme end. There are knife guys like me who are kind of snobby, and we're into the purist sort of side of things, like the ultra utilitarian designs, or what we consider to be ultra utilitarian designs. Like really nice powder metallurgy steels. Maybe we're obsessed with the contouring and all. We have our opinions on what is ultimate in terms of utilitarian, and then there's what we consider to be my side, I guess, considers to be like the tactical crowd, or the guys that are into self-defense, or maybe you're just into stuff that looks really, really cool, to you, or whatever. Everybody views the knife world, if you're into folding knives, everybody views the different corners of the knife world from different perspectives. And when I was talking about this Eagle, I said, this isn't really a knife for me, but it's made well, and it's made by QSP, and the knives that I've handled by QSP have been pretty good, and maybe somebody who likes karambits would like this. And so I did a giveaway. By the way, if you haven't seen that video, go back and check it out so you can enter to win this guy. But ultimately what I said is this knife was given to me by QSP indirectly. It was given to the Pass Run Group, and the Pass Run Group offered it up for anybody who wanted it at the cost of shipping. And I thought, well, that's great, I get to talk about it, but it really should go to somebody who would appreciate it. So I offered it up as a giveaway knife. And the whole thing got me thinking, mixed with 4th of July and being free, and this goes for everybody, not just people who live in the United States. The best thing about any hobby is being free to enjoy the parts of it that you want to enjoy. How many of us are there out there? Like, it's not like there's only a few knife reviewers. There's a ton. There are guys like Nut and Fancy and Jim Skelton and Nick Shabazz and Frankie and Bird, and there's a whole bunch of other ones, and that's not, those guys all pave the way. And then there's also like the outdoor channels, Late Boy Scout and a whole bunch of others. I'm not going to sit here and name drop channels, but there's a whole bunch of guys that have already kind of they've had control of the knife community, or at least the YouTube knife community, for a long time, at least in terms of getting their opinions out there and persuading a lot of people to buy certain things, or carry certain things for some hypothetical use or whatever. Now, there are a lot of us who, there's a good chunk of people who specifically, carry, excuse me, sorry, my phone was going off there. I need to turn it on airplane mode. I always forget to do that. There's a lot of us who actually carry knives and use knives strictly as tools. But the further you get into this world, the further you get into the knife world, the more of just a general enthusiast you become. You become somebody who appreciates all of the fine details of a really nice folding knife. A lot of times that happens. And, that's where you form your opinions. But, not only are a lot of us like watching, channels, way better channels than mine. We're watching channels like mine, some better, and we're getting these ideas. But, myself included in this, I'm persuaded to buy a particular knife that I might not have originally found interesting, like the Spyderco knives. Originally, I thought they were the ugliest knives in the whole world, but I was persuaded by a YouTube channel. I think Nick Shabazz actually, his early channel and Jim Skelton, a lot, and channels like them, persuaded me to try them. And then I formed this opinion, some, my own, and some influenced by that person's voice in the back of my mind saying, yeah, it is good. Go ahead and like it. And then, I decide that I like it. And I guess all things are like that. I'm kind of rambling here, but my point is that if you're like me, yeah, you use knives, but you just, it's like I buy things because I hear that they're good, and then I get them, and then, like other topics, that I've brought up on the Knife Guy series, like, expectations and wanting things to be as good as they are in your head. It's a combination of all those thoughts and emotions that you decide ultimately, do I like this or do I not like it? And a lot of it's just influence. A lot of it is influence from at least people are saying, or after you use them for a little bit or whatever. But, I like stuff because I've decided, based on the information that I've gathered, that I like it. Whether or not I actually plan to use it is an entirely different story. I like Hinderer knives because of how they look, but I also like them because I know that they're good tools. I don't use them nearly as hard as as they're intended to be used. I just believe that they're good tools, and I like them. I enjoy them. For a lot of the same reasons, people who like knives like this, they just like them. Maybe whether or not it would make an excellent EDC tool is not important to them. Maybe it's just what brings them joy. This is on the polar opposite end of the spectrum. It's not convenient. It's not utilitarian. Well, basically it's just massively inconvenient. A lot of the knives on the table, in my opinion, would be better suited for EDC than this guy. But does it bring me joy? Yes. And you know what? That's fine. I have the freedom to like what I want. And we're 7 minutes in, me rambling, but I think you guys might have guessed the theme of today's topic, and it's that we have the freedom to just like what we want. And despite my channel, being one that's based on like picking apart the fine details of a knife and going, well, yeah, that is a benefit in this way, but would it make sense in this scenario? Would it make sense in this? And then ultimately, at the end of it, I tell people whether or not I'd recommend a knife for EDC. And sometimes people listen to me, and sometimes they don't, and that's great. But I have been influenced to buy knives before by reviewers that I trust, and then gotten those knives and not been ultra happy with them, but I felt compelled to be happy because this reviewer and seemingly the rest of the knife world's like, it's so good, you have to like it. And I'm like, well, I guess maybe I do like it. I don't know. And really what this all should be, collectively, this whole community, we should be enjoying what we like. Yes, there are knives that are better suited for some tasks than others, but is that really what this is all about? For some people, but I have to assume most people that are this deep into the knife world, we're in the part where we're buying knives because we like shiny things that operate well, that bring us joy, that you can't pinpoint exactly what it is, but knives are cool. We like them, they're fun. They flip and they click and they lock out, and they've got crazy cool materials and cool machining and whatever. And other people say they like them. You find pictures of a knife you like on Instagram, and everybody's like, wow, a whole bunch of likes. And then you buy one and you put it on Instagram, and people are like, wow, join the club, a whole bunch of likes. And some of it's us and some of it's influence other people. And I like it when people, it puts a smile on my face when I see people going, this knife is just crazy. This doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense. This line doesn't make sense. But gosh dang it, I like this knife. It just brings me joy. This knife is 9.5 ounces. I can't think of a situation where I'd be carrying this thing, but gosh dang it, is it fun to flip. It just sounds cool. I don't know why I didn't put it out here today, but, the best example I can give is I'm so particular about hunting down exactly the right ergonomics, exactly the right steel, hypothetically, exactly the right blade shape, blah, blah, blah. And then I turn around and spend a whole bunch of money on a Praetorian tie, arguably one of the most inconvenient and unnecessarily overbuilt knives that have ever existed, just because it makes me happy. And I'm happy to have that freedom. You guys are nice enough, most of you, to be like, It's not for me, but that's cool that you like it, because on other corners of the internet, I mean, I've seen on Blade forums someone being like, hey, I got a new Praetorian tie, and people are like, you are the biggest idiot on the planet to have bought that. And no, you guys are nice to me. You're not saying that. I know some of you are thinking that, though, and that's perfectly okay. The beauty of this is, yeah, these are tools, but we should just enjoy the things that we like to enjoy. You should buy stuff that makes you happy. If I give a negative review to a knife that you're thinking about buying it and you're kind of already sure, I talked about I already make up my mind as to whether or not I want to buy a knife before I even start watching reviews on it. It's intrigued me that much, and I'm just using selective hearing to basically put the pieces together that I need to go ahead and pull the trigger. So I hope you guys do that too. I mean, if you're really looking for a tool, then yeah, like me and a combination of other reviewers, then, you should use our information to collectively break things down and decide whether or not it's the right tool for you. But if you're just looking for an object to bring you joy, a pocket knife to bring you joy, like a lot of your other pocket knives that are maybe similar shapes or designs or whatever have brought you joy, then you don't have to listen to me or anybody else. You should buy what you like. And that's the part of this where, we kind of feed off each other in a positive way. You like knives, I like knives, we don't like the same knives, but the thing that we all have in common is that knives bring us joy. Nobody's right or wrong. If I want to buy a Praetorian tie and the guy down the street wants to buy a Karambit, neither of us are wrong. Neither of us are going to have the best experience in terms of an EDC tool, but that may not matter, and in a lot of ways it shouldn't matter. I don't know, this is very rambly. I hope this is making sense to you guys. There are two very different sides of the enjoyment I get from knives. I like cutting. I like going out in the back alley behind my house with a bunch of boxes and taking a knife that I perceive to be a good working tool and start to cut and realize, yeah, this is comfortable. I could keep doing this. This is nice. The edge geometry is good. It's going through this cardboard. I like that, Or if I'm trying to, carve off the edge of it, on the swing set that we built, I was using the Tough Light to kind of shear off some of the areas where I thought, if my kids or other kids put their hands, are they likely to get a splinter here? And I was using the Tough Light to kind of get rid of bad areas of the wood that I thought that might happen. I was like, this is great for that because I have so much control up on this tiny little edge. I love that. That brings me happiness in that sense. Now, could I, maybe the cardboard boxes, but could I have done that as easily with the Sheepdog? The areas of my swing set that required control over a small blade? No, not at all. But I still like this. In fact, this isn't really good for a whole lot in my opinion, but I just like it. I just like that it exists, so that I can hold it in my hand and experience it physically. It doesn't need to do necessarily exactly what it was designed to do, which is cut efficiently and in a multitude of scenarios. It doesn't need to do all of that to bring me happiness, like the Eagle's not going to be like, if it's like I need to find a tool to break down cardboard boxes. This is going to be pretty inconvenient, but that doesn't mean it can't bring somebody happiness. That's, I don't know, like every time I do one of these videos, I'm like, how much sense am I making? Am I jumping from subject to subject too quickly for people to comprehend the message I'm trying to deliver here? Or am I repeatedly making the same message over and over and over again? Oh God, I'm just saying my thoughts out loud. How long have I been doing this? I'm obviously doing that right now, but that's what I mean. It happens when I just ramble. But I don't know. I hope that the people watching my channel are watching it partially because they enjoy hearing my opinion, in terms of utility. But at the same time, I hope you guys all know that I just want you guys to love knives because I love knives. I'm very passionate about folding knives. There are knives that, I think, I don't really like the look of them, or I don't think make sense from a utilitarian standpoint. But if it's made well, I enjoy it. I enjoy that somebody put time and effort into making that thing well. There are so many different blade shapes that just make no sense, and actually, let me give you an example. And forget what I said about blade shapes making sense or not. Elijah Isham has some unbelievably complicated designs. They're incredibly unique. I'm not convinced that his knives and his designs are specifically beneficial to any particular circumstance or any particular group of circumstances. I have no idea. And I can't even say that his designs specifically speak to me all that much. But do I appreciate it? Does it make me happy? Yeah, definitely, because that guy clearly, that guy I'm sure loves knives more than I do, because he's put time and energy into creating this thing that came out of his mind, and he's sharing it with the knife world. Some people are like, that's not for me, and some people are willing to spend hundreds of dollars or over $1,000. I don't know how much of his designs go for, his custom ones, but that's cool. That's cool because it's something to talk about. It's something that, I've had one of his knives on my channel before, and I enjoyed talking about it, even though the design wasn't for me. And that's cool. That's fun. That's what makes me so motivated to keep, uploading videos on this channel, because it's just, there's so much to talk about, and it brings me excitement. In one way, shape, or form, every knife that exists it probably would bring me joy. Even gas station knives, because it's like, we get to all collectively make fun of how crappy this is or whatever. I love Nick's Terrible Knives Live show, Nick Shabazz. I love that. That's fun to me because we all know, most of us know, these knives aren't made very well, and it's kind of fun to collectively laugh. But maybe on the opposite side, it's like, well, yeah, it's fun to laugh at these, but I also still kind of like these knives because I kind of like those corny, junky knives. That's okay. That's fun. That's perfectly fine. I don't know. I'm a glass half full person. I prefer to see things that way. I like to incite discussion and not argument on this channel. And I hope you guys get as much enjoyment out of this as I do. I hope you guys see this world the way that I do. Or if you didn't previously, my ultimate goal is that my channel has influenced you to see the world, the knife world, more so in the way that I do. That it's fun. It's something that we can all collectively share. This enjoyment and this obsession with folding knives. But okay, almost 18 minutes. That was definitely the most rambly episode that I have ever done. I hope you guys got some form of enjoyment out of this. If you did, please leave a like. If you'd like to check out my other content, I do, of course, have lots of videos of knives that are either expensive or inexpensive that I do or don't like. So check those out. And if you enjoy all my content, then please subscribe to my channel, because there's definitely more coming. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and have a great day.